And also shout out to Tansy McNulty, to Ebony, the team at 1 Million Madly Motivated Moms. I find their work so important in this space because, our angle as we thought about this project was, what's the story that we can tell about programs, and we're thinking about program growth, and Tansy's team always keeps us rooted in the experiences of the folks who need help on the ground, right? And we have to, it can be difficult for me, Tahir, Duckett, Georgetown Law, Kicks, to remember that it's not always just about promoting y'all's programs, which I love to do, but what's happening on the ground. And I have to say, yesterday, this morning, I hope that y'all can feel what is happening in this space. I think that there is something really, really, really special here. We've all been to conferences. You come, you get some swag, you hang out with your friends, you yak. I do a lot of yakking. And then you go home. But y'all, something feels different. This can be something that is different. I think that this can be a time that these connections can be something that changes us, and that changes your programs, that changes the trajectory of where this movement is going. It's in the ideas that you're exchanging, it's in the connections that you are making. This project with 1M4 was the result of just this kind of alchemy. Ideas exchanged between Tansy and I at Sozose's Decriminalizing Mental Illness Summit a couple of years ago. This conference was the result of this kind of alchemy. Conversations between Freya and Mariella when she was still at ASC, and Jasmine and I over drinks at Rebecca Newstedter's Transform 911 conference in New Orleans several years ago, that these little connections that you're making, these little ideas that you're having, I wonder if we could do that. Those are being born in this room, out in that park, maybe sometimes over drinks in the evenings. And here's the thing, we need more of that alchemy because we need y'all to weave gold from almost nothing. Right? We need you to weave gold from the connections in this room. We need you to, so much of this work was originally catalyzed after the murder of George Floyd in 2020, and by the incredibly powerful demands from community members. And since that initial burst, that catching flame, we've continued to grow, we've stoked that fire, but if we are to achieve the promise and potential of those heady days of 2020, we need more giant leaps in capacity, in scale, in impact. All of you know that there is so much more that we can be. And so we need you to weave gold, and I've got a few ideas for how that can happen. The first is that we need to double down on building and expanding our support in communities. Will people go to bat for you like they went to bat for Pad in Atlanta when the mayor started acting up, right? Because that, honestly, that has to be the floor. Right? That has to be the floor. Have your partners helped shape, and do they understand your long-term vision, and are they committed to helping you achieve it? I'm not just talking about touching base. I'm not just talking about checking in and having relationships. I'm talking about building collective power within your cities. Second, how can we find more ways to speak with a collective voice? We talked yesterday about how to speak with a collective voice to vendors. I believe Ganesha said that, to policymakers. And I think this is one of the reasons why it was so important for us to bring on AMSA, the Alternative Mobile Services Association. Jason, where are you, Jason? Why that feels like such an important development for our movement, because it is one thing for us to say Georgetown thinks that responders should do X. It's another for you to be able to say it together and to be able to speak with that collective voice. And then finally, research is great. I love research. But you all know that it is the stories that build the human connection that will fuel wider adoption. You all have stories like BCRs. That's what that video was about. That's the subject of our opening session, Narrative Change, how to tell local stories that build a movement. And so we have a truly incredible team who are going to be joining us up here. Michael Crawford, Ryan Smith, Dan Gorenstein, Sarah Youssef, and Christy Thompson. But I think we're starting with just a few minutes from Sarah to get us going. So please welcome Sarah to the stage.